Hello, my name is Robert Dean Steele, and I'm doing one of those videos which I just love to do from time to time, and that's a video on everything I need to know about life I can learn from Noah's Ark. Here's something you can learn from Noah's Ark. You build your future on higher ground. You know, the Bible says that we have a solid rock, and that is his name is Jesus Christ. In fact, Jesus says that those who follow his example and his teachings is like a man who builds his house on a solid rock. Paul says in the book of Ephesians that we are seated in heavenly places in Christ Jesus. Now, I want to tell you something. When you are seated in heavenly places, when you're looking down on the situation, you realize a very important lesson, and that is that the enemy has to come up to you. You do not have to go down to him. You do not have to play at his level. In fact, it takes more effort to go up than it does to go down. Also as well, for safety's sake, travel in pairs. Now think about that for a moment. For safety's sake, travel in pairs. You know, God has given us people in our lives that help us to work with us. If you have a spouse, for example, you have a wonderful individual who's going to stand behind you. In fact, the Bible says a man will leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. She is an asset. She is a helpmate. She's the one who encourages you. Also, when Jesus was sending out his disciples, he sent them out in pairs. Why did he do that? So that each other could encourage each other, and each other could work together, and each one could have their own back. Now, here's also another important lesson. Speed isn't always an advantage. The snails were on board with the cheetahs. I like that thought. Think about this for a moment. Sometimes it is important to get things done quickly. But if you have the opportunity to do something, to plan something out, isn't that better? I mean, you got the plans in front of you, you take your time, you kind of look the situation over, you kind of have that overall view where you say to yourself, you know what, I can get this done in a certain amount of time. I don't have to speed through it. And you know, there's something wonderful about that, especially if you're a craftsman. And you take your time because you know that you're going to do a good job when you take your time. When you have to hurry, you, of course, may not do the best job. So, take your time also as well. Okay? When you're stressed, just float a little while. You know, when my kids were younger and we would go down to a place called Penticton. And Penticton had the channel. That was from the Okanagan Lake right down to Lake Skaha. There was a channel. And during the summertime, we would float down the channel. Now, you just kind of floated and took your time. You kind of saw the scenery. You talked. You kind of stayed warm. It was just an absolutely wonderful time. My kids really loved it. You know, it's okay to take your time. It's okay to take it easy. Or I'd be like Bobby McFerrin and say, don't worry, be happy. There's a little song I wrote. I think you kind of get the point of view. You know, it's okay to float just a little while. In fact, that's what Noah and the ark did. They floated a little bit while. Here's another one. Remember, the ark was built by amateurs, the Titanic by professionals. I think you kind of get the point of view. It's okay to be an amateur. You don't have to always be a professional. Professionals are important. We need experts who are able to see things. But you know what? Most of what we do in life, we just do because it has to be done. Like, for example, when you have to clean the house, you're not going to call in a professional cleaner. You're just going to clean the house. Maybe it's monetarily. I know that a lot of women, in fact, there was a survey that was done, and they said the one real thing that they would like to have at least once a week was have someone else clean their house. Well, that may be something that you might think about, guys, but most of what we do is done by amateurs. And I want to tell you something. Amateurs can do a pretty good job. So whatever you do, though, do it as unto the Lord. Remember, the ark was built by amateurs. Maybe by the time Noah became, the ark was built, he would consider himself a professional. But remember, when you do something unto the Lord, you're doing for his praise and glory. Lastly, no matter the storm that you're in, God is going to be with you, and he's always going to be there waiting to minister to your need. Think about that. You're in the middle of a storm, and God is with you. In fact, the Lord says he will be with us no matter what. Matthew 28:20 says, "Lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age." Think about that. God is going to be with you in that trial. God's going to be with you in that tribulation. God's going to be with you in that storm. Doesn't mean he's going to take you out of the storm, but there's a lesson to learn in the storm. Maybe just confidence in the Lord. Maybe you'll cry out to God and say, "God, I'm in the middle of this storm here. Would you please wake up and let the wind and the waves be taken care of?" Well, you know what? He may do that or he may not do that. But know this, he's going to be with you every way. Which way? 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, "God will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you're able to endure, but with a temptation, a means of escape." So there's some really good lessons that we can learn from Noah's Ark, and we've talked about them today. Well, you have yourself a great and godly day. And don't forget, Jesus loves you.